Hi guys, it's Molly with Soul School Spiritual Guidance and Healing. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I'm very happy to be here with you. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. I'm really glad to have you guys here, okay? So let's go ahead and get into the message for today. I thought I wasn't going to have one for a while, okay? Actually, here's the deal. I was going to go drop my car off at the mechanic. I just got a used car and I want to make sure that it's good for driving around on the highway and stuff like that. And then I was going to walk home and get into my work. Do a little reading for you guys. It turns out the mechanic is entirely overwhelmed, so he can't even look at my car this week, which means I'm gonna do a reading for you, and then I'm gonna take a little field trip, okay? And I'm a little nervous about this, but the fact of the matter is I have been cultivating a relationship since I have been in Mexico with the nature spirits of the Yucatan Peninsula. And if you guys follow my Instagram, there's a time back in December, like right before Christmas, I got super duper sick. I had this terrible fever. I took like 2 COVID tests and it wasn't that. But I finally decided that I had defended the protective spirits of the Mayan ruins that I had recently visited. And that was like, I found so much justification for that online, just kind of the stories that surround these particular spirits here in the Yucatan. There's a lot of folklore, a lot of mythology. If you piss them off, they will give you a fever, okay? So that happened to me. I took something from the grounds that I really should have known better. It was just a little flower, but I should have known better. Nonetheless, it opens up a conversation that my guides are wanting me to have with you guys about connecting with the nature spirits. And there was actually a video that I made last week in which I talk about the different kinds of guides that you'll find once you really begin to open up your third eye and your intuition. There are different actors out there acting from different dimensions, and they have certain, I don't want to say restrictions and limitations, but they're bound to certain energies. You have certain guides that are literally a part of your own individual soul, right? Your past and parallel lives. You have energies that are bound to certain lineages and locations, and we know those to be as ancestral energies. There are also very many earth-bound spirit energies. Some of the angelic energies that we deal with are very much, basically, they belong to the planet Earth. They occupy the planet Earth, but just on different dimensions, okay? Different densities, so to speak. So if you're new here, we're going full woo-woo, okay? If you guys do not want to be on the woo-woo train, you guys, we're going kind of slow, so you can still jump off at any point, okay? And then, of course, there are the extra-dimensional or extraterrestrial energies that I have been channeling and talking about, and that some of you guys out there that watch me, I know you have experiences with these types of energies. But the bottom line is I just wanted to get into the ins and outs of working with these different types of energies, these different types of, some of them are guides, some of them are, they don't belong to you. I don't know how to say it, okay? For example, I'm afraid to say their name, the Aleutians, all right? That's who I've been dealing with here in Mexico. They're not like my guides at all, but they are protective ancestral energies that work together with the nature spirits of particular areas on the peninsula, specifically areas with strong spiritual significance, okay? And we're talking about ruins, temples, things like that, all right? So these particular energies can teach us a lot. And we can benefit a lot from our cooperation with them, okay? So I kind of just wanted to, like I said, I think I'm just gonna drive to Xcambo, which are the ruins that I visited. They're nearest to my home. The last ruins I visited were in Isla Mujeres, and I still want to get to Zibir Shaltun, which is just south of where I'm currently living, but I'm thinking of relocating out of the beach town, and so I'm going to use my proximity to these ruins to just kind of go back today and have a visit. I'm gonna have to talk to them about whether or not we can do the camera. I don't think I'll be bringing any cards or anything like that, but just to kind of bring you guys to that location and maybe even just talk you through what my experience is like as a channel being in a location that's so completely supercharged with energy from the past, energy from the present, energy from the nature spirit, and of course, energy from the protective spirits of the ruins, which are known here in the peninsula as the Alishas, okay? So I'm just gonna take you guys along, all right? We'll see what happens, all right? But yeah, I got myself a little, it's one of those little baby mini SUVs. So tall enough to climb into, but short enough I can still parallel park, all right? The message that wants to come through with the cards today is just sort of a collective energy of the nature spirits, okay? There's a lot of discussion about disclosure, right? About maybe some sort of news coming out that officially states that we're not alone in this universe, but as I've been kind of pondering that and how that might play out, my guides are like, don't forget, we're not even alone on this planet, right? So what are some of the other energies that call Earth home that are reaching out to us at this point in time? Because I really do feel that as the Earth is going through its own shift in vibrational frequency, that there's a lot that we can learn from working with these particular energies. All right, I've got 5 cards out, so let's break it down. Oh, I've got 6. Wow. Wow. Okay, you guys. I love the energy that's going on here. Okay. Okay, so this is a message from just some of the nature spirits that are out there wanting to connect with the human collective and just kind of talk about what can come from that relationships, okay? I talk a lot on this channel recently, especially about the shift between 3rd and 4th density, and as we're moving up to a completely different vibrational frequency, we are going to have easier contact with these types of entities, all right? Okay, and these are the lessons that they're able to share with us, okay? And then we have some advice from them. And I love that. Okay, all right, okay. So we have Seer, Sage, and Shaolin Master, which to me has become a symbol for the ability to move and manipulate energy, okay? Some of you guys might be called to ancient or sacred sites or even to deep spaces in the woods, really old rock formations, places that have been sacred throughout history because they carry a particular energy, because they are home to these other dimensional energies, right? And I don't know a lot about what it means to be a grid worker. I know that sometimes I'm just called to put my body in a certain location. I don't know what I'm doing there, but being there helps. I don't know. If you guys are grid workers, or if you know what it means to work with the energy grid, like drop a comment below. Just share your experiences, because that's what it's all about. Experiences, okay? So the Shaolin Master, to me, absolutely, it says be graceful in movement and action. I feel like that's one of the things that we can really learn from these particular spirits is how to identify and work with the energy that occupies a particular space, okay? This also, for some of you guys, if you're energy healers, energy movers, right? I see people literally like removing darkness and dark entities and unhealthy and maybe even just blocked emotional stuff. I see people like being able to remove that from another person's energy field. I see somebody able to remove that from a space, right? So these are our energy masters. How to work with the energetic world, because I don't know how to say this. There are energetic structures that exist in certain locations and around certain people that we can't see with our eyes, but once you really are in tune with feeling where energy lies and the quality, and when I talk about the quality of energy, I'm not saying like thumbs up, thumbs down. I give this like 5 stars out of 10. Not that kind of quality. But I mean like the quality of a tone of music. Like what is its frequency? What energy is it carrying? All right? As you guys begin to learn that, and master that. Like building a relationship with nature spirits is really going to help to sort of deepen that understanding. Okay? All right? This one I'm going to go to because this one's talking to me. My nose is itchy. Seer. We're going to delete this. Okay, sorry. The phone, like, I'm just always getting random, like, service notifications. All right? See beyond the current situation. All right? I'll tell you one thing that happens to me. It's beginning to happen to me, and I understand that it's a skill that I have an opportunity to develop, is sometimes when I go to these ancient sites, I'm receiving messages from the spirits there, or even kind of seeing certain images play out in my mind's eye. Things that have happened in this location at a different point in time. Okay? Seeing beyond the current situation. Actually being able to see past happenings and future potentials when you look into a situation. Okay? But also general. I always say that as a psychic, as a seer, I cannot see the future because that completely robs us of our ability to create it, right? The future is created upon our decisions that we make, the actions that we take, right? The energies that we choose to entertain. But what I can see is energies that are not visible to everyone, right? And then we can predict how those are going to play out. Okay? So if you're developing your intuitive senses at this time, ooh, get out there and watch. Okay, they're showing me in her little crystal ball now, things like the movements of birds will bring you messages, right? The movement of insects, butterflies, okay? The migration of certain animals, sometimes just seeing animal symbols. Being out in nature gives the universe a canvas upon which to paint confirmation, validation, symbols, signs. Okay? I mean, you can find them in the city, right? But if you really want to see the universe speak, get out there into nature, commune with the nature spirits, open yourselves up to them. Understand that when you're in nature, you're kind of in their realm until you get to know them a little better. Okay? And then this one also just looks like a favorite pastime, like go chill by a tree, okay? So this is sage, be devoted and committed. I love that this is a tree in particular because I've talked before about the wisdom that exists in the trees. There was this spot that I used to go to back in Kansas where, there was a path through the woods and then there was a river. And if you walked across the riverbank, you could see where pieces of earth had fallen away and exposed the roots of the trees that ran alongside this path. And if you could get down there and get up to the roots of those trees, I mean, I don't know how else to describe it. It's communion. It's communion, okay? You are communing with another sentient being, and they hold so much wisdom, specifically about how to tap into the collective energy and use the information that you're getting there to make better decisions. Okay? Like the roots of the trees all stretch out and like touch each other. In the same way that you can go out into the world and you can perceive, because you're kind of up against, you're adjacent to other people's energies, right? And the tree can gather information from the entire forest through its network of roots, okay? And it can share that energy with you. It can share a lot of just wisdom. I don't know how else to describe it, man. I used to sit and hold hands with the juniper tree in that same area. And it's just a really, really beautiful feeling. But I also feel, you see how this guy's got, like, I feel like he's almost taking notes as the wisdom from the trees comes in, okay? So for those of you who are teachers, mentors, coaches, understand that there's just so much that you can learn from the trees. I don't know how else to say it, okay? So these are sort of the benefits of working with different nature spirits, allowing yourself to be in nature and also around these sacred sites that the nature spirits work very closely alongside the, I don't know how to say it. The way that I feel the particular relationship between these protective spirits is that they were nature spirits that were called upon at a point in the past, and that they've just continued serving their role as protectors of certain energy vortexes or energy fields that have been created on the planet Earth by mankind or other entities at some point in the past, okay? All right, so advice from them. We have this 3-card series, Snake, which says shed old skin. And this has a lot to do with building relationship with nature spirits, as well as just the advice that they're giving you on your journey, okay? Warrior, be fearless and stand strong. And then we have the Sun, enjoy success and happiness. Now, that's really interesting, the way that they want to weave this together with the 2022 prediction that I put out last night, where I talk about giving your higher self authority, right? It's this shedding the old skin is really about shedding this way of being in relationship to nature. Okay? We have taught that mankind is outside of nature rather than an integral part of it. Okay? We've taught that mankind is opposed to nature. I was an English teacher. How many man versus nature chapters did you guys have to outline? I was there. Okay? It's not about man versus nature. It's about man with nature. Because I tell you what, if we're trying to fight that fight, we will lose. Okay? Gaia has been here much longer than we have. And will be here much longer after. Okay? So be willing to shed this old skin, this old way of being, this old narrative that we are handed about what it means to be a human person in nature. All right? Because it's almost like we have alienated ourselves from that area to where the nature spirits don't recognize us. They want to get to know us. They want to begin building those relationships. And it benefits the healing of the entire planet Earth when we do that. Okay? Once you're able to shed that old way of being in the world, stand strong in what you believe to be the proper relationship, interaction, even just the truth and the reality of the connection between nature and humankind. You guys, this is really very beautiful because this collective that's coming through is making me feel like this is a reunion. They're showing me scenes of people living in tribes. And I'm talking about in the Americas, in Britain, in Turkey, right? Being one with nature. And the sort of the renaissance of like witchcraft that's happening right now. If you break that down and what that really is, people are just turning to nature. People are getting tired of our fake food system and turning to nature. They're getting tired of a corrupt healthcare system and turning to nature. Reconnecting, reuniting with nature. And when we reunite with the nature spirits, it's almost like they want to help us to do that. They want to help to rekindle a relationship between humanity and the nature spirits that existed for thousands of years and was broken down by the Industrial Revolution. And the rape and pillage of natural resources through the process of colonialism. Okay? Man, we got some twisted, it's almost like you can sit down and you can look at the sort of beliefs and behaviors and things that happen in your household when you're growing up and be like, oh, that's why I believe the way I do about relationships or work or, you know, this and this and that. But it's like we have to stop and look at the history of humanity and the stories that we've been told and be very, very critical and to fight for this notion that we're not meant to be separated from nature. There's been some very, very, very unhealthy belief systems about nature that came out of the era of colonialism, of the Industrial Revolution. Like going back even further than that. Like the whole age of exploration. People were justifying rushing in and taking all of these natural resources from the people who had been tending the land, right? And so that's when they show me the bond. There's resources, the people that protect them, and then the spirits that help to mediate that relationship, okay? So remember, even if you guys just have a garden, be aware and open it up, allow it to host nature spirits, okay? Enjoy success and happiness. I just feel like this is, first of all, beautiful. It showed me this energy goes all the way up to the sun. And what I mean by that is, please understand, planets are consciousnesses. The stars are consciousnesses. There is a solar consciousness that sort of penetrates our entire solar system, unites us with planets like Mars and Venus and Jupiter and Saturn, okay? And there is almost going to be like a return to the glorification of the sun. If you guys read the raw materials, he talks about the fact that this extra planetary collective would come down and specifically assist cultures that had developed beliefs and rituals surrounding the sun god. That's a whole other, like, if you want to know where to find that, drop it in the comments and I'll guide you there, okay? Law-of-one.info will get you a searchable compendium of the entire raw materials, if you guys want to find where that's at. But this sun also just makes me feel like playing together. Like I'm getting major new earth vibes here of like man and nature spirits all like playing together. Because, okay, now they're circling me back around to energy grid work, because I didn't understand this about energy grids, that certain episodes in history have created certain barriers within the energy grids. And so what we can work to do is reforge those connections from the human to the nature spirit world. Okay, we can kind of bring down walls that have solidified in the, like energetically. You can't see them, but you can feel them, okay? That's really beautiful. We're 23 minutes into it. I'm just gonna go ahead and I want to tap specifically into, let's ask. Let's ask the deck about my going to visit some nature spirits today. Because I tell you what, even if I don't get it all the way out there to Ishkambo, I am definitely going to. There's flamingos, there's beaches. It's not really warm enough to get into the water. People are surprised by that. They come to the Yucatan Peninsula, they come to the beach in January and are like, why is it cold? I hear you. Okay, that's another way that these types of spirits can really help us, is when it comes to our shadow self, Wisdom and love. I love it. Okay, so here's just sort of some information that's coming out for me, and this is good information, that it's a little bit of aspect of my own shadow that I'm working on. breaking down walls and barriers between me and the spiritual work that I'm trying to do, right? Because if we're taught to believe that it's not real, it's just in our imagination, then we don't always take the proper steps. And when I say proper steps, I mean they're showing me intention. When you go to connect with nature spirits, clarify your intentions, okay? Make sure that you're not doing it to meet any sort of like ego needs or to prove a point or anything like that. But also, wash away any sort of like fears. That's really, really beautiful. Clarify your own energy space before you go in to this purified energy of nature, okay? It's almost like you go to somebody's house and this white carpet. You gotta take your shoes off. You gotta take your shoes off, bro, okay? It's like that. You just don't want to drag what you're experiencing in this particular matrix. You don't want to drag that into this purified nature energy. All right? So that's very good advice for me, okay, before I approach any, because I'm telling you guys, they are not to be fucked with. Pardon my language. I'm getting real big deja vu right now. But I was reading this article about they basically in Cancun, they were trying to construct a bridge across a point in the water, and every night the construction site would be trashed. I mean, like metal was bent. And to the point where they got the National Guard out there and was like, all right, like literal immediate jail time for anybody that we catch messing with this construction site. And they couldn't like find any answer. I'm going to try to find that article and link it to you below. They brought in a shaman and basically had the construction workers built a little temple, and they've had no problem since then, okay? Setting good intentions, purifying your intentions, okay? So I'll make sure when I go into this space, because sometimes I go into this space and I am seeking certain types of validation that my ego probably needs, and I'm going to make sure to really purify my intentions towards the message that I just received, that the goal is simply to begin to reforge the connections between humans and nature spirits, okay? And then we have love and wisdom, and in this particular love card, you see that she's got this little like, I don't know what to call it. I just call it a mouth harp, right? She is emitting a particular vibration that is in resonance with this dove, okay? So it's almost like go there, be in your energy, right? And allow whatever's going to resonate to resonate. Whatever wants to come forth, what wants to connect. They're showing me like a deer. How cool would that be? If you just go sit in the woods and you like, you know what I mean? Sit there and be in your own vibration, and that allows sort of the matching vibrations that exist in nature to speak to you. You can hear them. Just go and be in your vibe. You're purified, intentions clarified, vibe. And then we have wisdom. It's almost like just being in like appreciation of nature and respect for nature and just vibing with nature. And then here comes this bird and it lands on your shoulder and gives you a message. That's what I feel is happening here. And look what's rising up in the background. The sun. I love this, you guys. Okay. All right, Wildwood Tarot, because I would like more specific. Now this is just kind of me making a direct line with the energy of this particular location that I'm thinking of visiting with you guys today. Let's see what the cards say. Thank you guys for being here. No extended on this one. No extended on this one. This is just a message that actually has been wanting to come through a lot, and I think will come through more in the future. Because I'm down for this nature spirits, I'm down for this. If I can be a tool in helping to bridge these connections and relationships, just hit me up, nature spirits. Let me know, and I'll go on my YouTube channel and tell the people. But if you guys are still here and you like it, hit that like button. I'm just shuffling up. This is the Wildwood Tarot, and I feel like it really wants a nice, like, a good wash. Okay. This, to me, what the Wildwood Tarot represents in general is that other point on our timeline when people did live somewhat wild in nature, right? And the way that it affected our spirit. And they're letting me know, like, the whole energetic grid of the planet was different back then. And then we have the ability to get it back. Thank you, Spirit. I also, you guys, as it does begin to warm up, please trust we're going to make lots of visits to cenotes. Cenotes are essentially sinkholes in the Yucatan Peninsula where the limestone has opened up and created like a pond, okay, that connects to the underground river that flows through this land. And that river itself has a very big voice. It's a very, oh my gosh, I've been connecting with it. All right. Okay. What I need to do today is make amends, and I'm fully aware of that. We have the Three of Vessels, which is joy, and we talk about joy. But also these cranes, which I'll see some like that on the way out there. And then the Six of Vessels, which says reunion. They are like, do not come empty-handed. Do not come empty-handed. I won't. I actually have some gifts for them. Okay, I understand. I have gifts that I've been holding on to for the next time I go back to see them and ask for forgiveness, I guess. I just broke rules that I didn't know existed, all right? Look at this Five of Vessels. The Five of Vessels, the Five of Cups is typically about mourning. It's about sadness. It's just about having to accept that we've got to let go of what is leaving us, okay? This is a summoning type energy. I'm going to really have to meditate on this. I feel like they would like me to bring some sort of, like, I don't know how, to make some sort of noise. The way that she's making a noise. They have these little whistles that are meant to sound like birds. I don't know. Thank you so much, Spirit. What more can you tell me about this Five of Vessels? I will say there's an altar. Oh, and I meant to show you that. I really wanted to show you that. There's an altar at most of these ruins that I've been to. You can see that there's a place where people have left behind flowers, sweets. Sweets is specifically what I've been asked for, but also candied fruits and vegetables. Don't ask me. It's the message I got. And then we have this Three of Arrows reversed. Okay? So I really need to go ask for forgiveness in order to move forward with this relationship. And all that happened, you guys, is there was a beautiful little thistle. I took one with me. I asked the thistle if it was okay. I just didn't ask the guardians. And that, oh my God, there it is again. That was the card that was on the bottom of the deck that I wanted to show you. You guys, it's just called the Guardian. But also, it's number 15. It's the Tower. Is it? No, this is the Devil. Okay, but it's not really a devil energy that's coming up. It's just the bones are showing me that these these are protective spirits that have been bound to this location for a very, very, very long time. The particular site that I'm thinking of goes back to, I think, 350 BCE. Okay. And you see how he's guarding. Okay. There's a particular location at this ruin that is actually like a tunnel that goes in like this. And I feel like that's where I'm meant to leave something. Okay? So, I'll get there. I will ask the energies. Ooh, and then we've got the wheel. Okay. And the wanderer. Okay? So I feel like this is almost like don't go wandering around messing with these energies if I haven't made peace with them. Okay? But how cool is that? It's like they're weaving. I feel like the spirits are weaving this shirt, this garb for me. I don't know what that means for us. And once, like, I should not go out. I should not go out without this protection that they're preparing for me. So that is beautiful. I'm gonna get myself fed. I'm gonna try to get some gas in that car, and I am gonna go on a little adventure. Of course, you guys will be with me, and I'll just feel out the energy as far as what can be filmed, what I'm feeling. All right. If I get on and I'm very, very vague, it's because it's really not good to get too detailed about these encounters immediately after they take place. That's one of the rules that I wrote. Just don't go running your mouth, okay? It's helpful advice on the streets, but also when dealing with nature spirits as well. Thank you guys so much for being here. Last thing before we go, crystals recommendations. These popped up right before I sat down. If you want to go and ground yourself, connect with nature spirits, these are the recommendations of just crystals that I have in my collection that Spirit is advising you can bring with you. This is a petrified wood. I've got garnet. Okay, it's a little, let's get a good focus. Can you focus? I just like it. It's a little piece of garnet. And then smoky quartz. Smoky quartz, they're letting me that smoky quartz, they're showing me the causal chakra, which is about release of karmic energy. Once you've learned a lesson and are ready to move on, I kind of see that lesson exiting through the causal chakra, which is located at the base of the back of your head. Okay, but those are recommendations, some message from the nature spirits. I'm excited to go see them, but also very, very humbled. I'm going to be listening to every little teeny tiny message that my intuition sends me about how to do this respectfully and do this carefully. And I would love to hear from you guys about your experiences with nature spirits, or at any sort of ancient site that you have encountered any of these protective spirits at. All right, these guardians, if you will. All right, darlings, I love you. Take care. Thanks for being here, and I'll talk to you soon.